Hi, Empress Justice here, and welcome to the late June reading for Scorpio. This is for Vishaka, Anuradha, and Jeshta, and for my Western Scorpions. Feel free to come in here. You want your Sun, Moon, and Lagna. All right. Now, after this reading, I'm going to be taking a little break, so this will be the last reading for a while. But in the meantime, let's get to the cards, all right? So for you, we have the Six of Autumn, we have the Moon card, and we have Unakite, okay? So for the Six of Autumn, we've got the good you do comes back to you. An unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely, or repaying a debt. For the Moon, we have powerful intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of a situation. And then for Unakite, we have answered prayers. All your great work has opened the door for divine solutions and support. Wow, that is very, very good. What's going on here, Scorpio? So I feel like whatever prayers have been answered, they have to do with material resources and money, home, career, anything to do with material resources. There's a particular request that you've made or a loan that you're taking out. It works very well. The only thing that I would suggest is don't be complacent just because you've gotten what you wanted. Now is the time to really lock in and prepare for every eventuality. This is what I've learned over the course of my life. What I've learned, Scorpio, is that the more good something appears to be, is that the more prepared you have to be for it. It's not the bad moments that you have to be the most prepared for, it's the good ones. You have to prepare for every single little blessing that could be compromised or, or I don't know, invaded. Do you know what I mean? It's not that dramatic. Your reading is not that dramatic. But my point is that the greater your blessings, the more prepared you have to be. That's the only thing that I would caution. But it looks like for late June, I don't see you guys really, or July, if I'm honest. I don't see you guys suffering with anything really, really heavy. In fact, I see a lot of positive things going on. Be aware of any jealous people coming up behind you, though. That's the only thing that I would suggest to you. Be aware of any jealousy that might want to sabotage you or might want to cut in on what you've worked so hard to gain, because what you're gaining here is not something that you just woke up and decided to get. It doesn't work like that. You've had to work really, really hard to have what you have, but other people are not going to see that. They're going to just see what you have that they don't. So you have to prepare for that. Again, I don't see any big strategic movements just yet. I'm just saying to be prepared just in case, right? Now, your notes say caregiver, nurturer, being afraid of happiness, grief, depending on charity, role play, unknown territory, affiliated system. If you're not familiar with what if you're not familiar with what an affiliated system is, it's basically like a company within another company or companies that have merged with each other. That's like an affiliated system, right? So I feel like what's going on here is that you're merging interests with another person or business or organization. That's what's going on here. And because of that, you've received an influx of greater wealth and resources. I don't think it's entirely borrowed. I think only some of it is borrowed, and I think some of it is yours, right? So I think that because you have merged with someone else, or you have collaborated with someone else, or you have a collaboration, I feel like that is going to bring you more wealth and bring you more abundance and bring you greater luck in your life. I feel like that's what's happening, Scorpio. But again, be very wary of jealous people, because they always see what other people have, and they don't see what other people have had to work towards in order to gain it. Okay, so that's for those cards. Also, when it came to the new moon in Magashirsha, that hit your 7th house, right? So you were being called to focus on your relationships. When the full moon in Ardra comes, you will be forced to focus on your 6th house, your open enemies. they're coming around the bend, they're coming around the corner, right? So that's what you're going to have to focus on. No, actually, no. Hold on, Scorps. No, that's your 8th house. Tell a lie, that's your 8th house. I'm thinking of Capricorn. So your 8th house is going to be about other people's money, resources, which ties very much in with this. So the 7th house considerations are going to evolve into joint collaborations, joint investments, lending and borrowing from other people, taxes, debts, like insurances, welfare, if you're on any type of benefits. So all of these things are going to come very much into focus over the course of July as well, okay, because the sun is going to be in Gemini. Now let's see what we've got here. So for this right here, I feel like an objective decision was made. Like if there was any decision made to kind of bless your life with material resources, it was based on an objective decision. It wasn't rooted in anything personal. Like, in other words, you didn't get this because somebody liked you. You got this because like either the law was on your side, or there were certain rules and regulations that were on your side in this case, and therefore you kind of made bank a little bit. Maybe you were like filing for a compensation claim and it worked out, or maybe at your job you did really well at your job, so somebody wants to like promote you or give you more money for your work. It could be that, but whatever it was, when you've been given something, it's rooted in an objective decision. It wasn't personal. It was just objectively Scorpio's been pulling their weight, doing their thing. So we're going to reward them for that. And then we've got the 3 of Pentacles, right? This is about work again. So I feel like this is about you making the most of your skills rather than your talents. Your talents are something that comes from you, that brings you joy, but your skills are something that you've learned along the way. You might not be naturally gifted in something, you might not be naturally talented in something, or you haven't become talented enough to become great, but you've got additional skills that you're working on, and those skills are currently what's making you money. So it's not something that's rooted in a deep purpose or a deep interest of yours, but you are gaining money from it, and you are going to be gaining like the right people on your side in doing this type of work, right? You know what this says to me? This says to me that you're going to be in a situation that you're not ordinarily in. Let's just say you're a creative, right? You're a creative person. You're going to find yourself in situations where you might be asked to utilize your creativity, but you're not going to be in a creative space. Or you could be a banker, but you could be doing accounts for like famous people or something. It's like you have the skills that people want, but they want it in a different environment. They don't want it in the environment that you come from or the environment that you studied in. Like, you are going to end up in another environment entirely. And I feel like your difference, your uniqueness is your strength here, right? Your difference of perspective is your strength. So I don't see surrender from this, even though you should surrender in this case, because it's going to lead you to a really, really opportune place. But yeah, you are going to be in a situation you haven't been in before, and it's going to be a little bit unnerving to you, right? So that's something that you should watch out for. With this right here, usually this card signifies thinking the worst, but I don't see that. I don't see anything big. I see annoyances, and I know this is not the card for that, but I see annoyances. I see things that you have to deal with that you'd rather not deal with. It's not that you can't overcome them. It's just like, it's exasperating. It's annoying. It's frustrating, but you can overcome them if you just recollect yourself and get it together. So it's not going to be a bad month for you. It's going to be an okay month. Like, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on relationships, and particularly fated, powerful relationships, or relationships that involve you investing and being invested in. All right, so that was for my beautiful Scorpios. That was for Vishaka, Anurada, and Jeshta. And for my Western Scorps, Sun, Moon, and Lagna, I am Empress Justice. And I'll see you in the next reading. After this, take care. Bye bye, my darlings.